What is going on, guys? Nick here, back again with another video for you guys. And today we're going to be doing a video on Fallout 76 on how to get the Secret Service Under Armor as well as the Secret Service Armor, which is the end game, which is a end game reward for Fallout 76. Now, the reason you probably want Secret Service Armor is because it is probably the best armor in the game outside of power armor, as far as numbers are concerned. So how do you get Secret Service Under Armor in Fallout 76? Number one being you have to complete the Wastelanders story quest line. So, spoiler, if you haven't completed the Wastelanders quest line, I would recommend you do that first before watching this video, because right off the bat I'm going to spoil the ending for you guys. And at the very end of the Wastelanders expansion, you're doing a vault raid, and you end up in this vault, which the reward you're hoping to get is this gold bullion that you see right here. I'm gonna take your desk lamp, pal. Thank you. But anyway, you're going after this gold bullion, and at the end of the raid, when you run into the Secret Service guys, you are prompted to either share the gold that you get with whatever faction you choose, that being the Settlers or the Raiders. I chose the Settlers, but at the end of the day, you choose whether you want to share half the gold or you keep all the gold for yourself. Now, if you choose to take it all to yourself, you get 1,000 gold bullion for yourself, and you don't get any faction reputation. And if you decide to share it with whatever faction you choose, you get faction reputation as well as you lose out on 500 gold. And in my opinion, I did the right decision, and I took all the gold for myself. Because the faction reputation that you get, well, actually, you need the faction reputation at some point, and you can just, get faction reputation a lot easier. I wouldn't really say easier, but it's pretty easy to get faction reputation just by doing the dailies and whatnot. But in my opinion, the gold bullion, if you want the Secret Service Armor as fast as possible, you want to keep the gold bullion for yourself, because you can always raise your faction reputation with both the Settlers, or with both the Raiders right here at the Trader, or down here at Foundation, by doing the dailies, which is Talk to Ward, Vital Equipment, and Retirement Plan, and the Importance of Communication. And all these quests are pretty easy and straightforward. It's kind of grindy, and that's the only thing I have wrong with it, is that it's just kind of grindy and it takes a while. But eventually you will reach match reputation, or I should say ally rank, with both of them at some point. So, in my opinion, if you want to go for the Secret Service Armor, fastest, I would definitely keep all the gold to yourself. Now, to get Secret Service Armor plans, you buy them here from Reds at Vault 79, which is where I'm at right now, Vault 79. So as you come in through here, you're gonna come in through this elevator, and he's to your left here. And he's like kind of leaning up against this cabinet here, and you want to trade gold bullion with him. And a lot of these plans are Brotherhood Recon and Crusader Pistol, because I was told that the more plans you have for certain things, the more likely they're going to drop for legendary off legendary enemies, or you're more than likely to get them from the purveyor. So I just went ahead and got them, because I have all the plans I want, and I have nothing else to put my gold on. So I just said, you know what, if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. It's whatever. But essentially, if you're starting out, you want to make sure you're buying the right thing to get the best resistance and stuff. So, as you can see here, they all cost, quite a bit of gold. Also, I will point out that if you want to buy the helmet, it is optional, but I would definitely recommend holding off on the helmet for a while. So the main things you want to focus on is the right leg, the right arm, the left leg, the left arm, and the chest piece, which is right here. Chest piece is 1250, and the limbs, which are down here, are 750. These are the main things you want to focus on, to start out. Now the chest piece by itself is 1250 gold bullion, so you're gonna need more than 1,000 gold, right? So how you get gold bullion after Wastelanders is by trading in what they call treasury notes. And how you get treasury notes is by doing public events throughout the world. And there are no public events live right now on my server, unfortunately. But I think after you do a public event, you get like 2 or 3 treasury notes after completing them. I'm not sure how much off the top of my head Encrypted will give you, but I do believe the Storage Beast Flame gives you like 4 or 5. I do believe it's 4. And then if you go over here to Manonda Mine, it gives you 8 treasury notes that you can turn in. And when you have enough treasure notes per day, because it resets every day, you can turn in, as you see, 200 treasury notes, or 200 gold bullion. So you turn in 20 treasury notes per day, which equals up to 200 gold per day, because it resets every day. So what I'm going to do now is turn in my 20 treasury notes, and I'm going to get 200 gold, and I can then go over to Reds if I wanted to and buy the plans for Secret Service Armour. Now right here, I am over here at the mystery pick right now because I'm about to buy one of the most important components when it comes to crafting Secret Service Armour, and that is legendary modules, because that is when you craft Secret Service Armour, you're crafting legendary variants of it. And all the armor can be 1 to 3 stars depending on complete randomness. It's just all at random. Now you buy the legendary modules from the purveyor with strip, and how you get strip is also doing events, doing daily ops. You can also get like 2 treasury notes from daily ops as well. So as you see, right here, public event. Okay, so one Violent Night. Right here, with the exclamation point on it. This is a public event, so if I wanted to go ahead and do it, it would be free to fast travel to, and it would give me 2 to 3 treasury notes, for completion. But I have over, as you saw already, I have over like 1,000 treasury notes, so I am really, not in a hurry to do any public events anytime soon. So we know you can get stripped by doing the daily quest and the season. And you can also get stripped by turning in legendary gear or weapons that you do not plan on using for 150 strip per day. But right now it's 300 because I'm doing this during a weekend event where you get double the amount. But normally it is 150 per day. I do believe the timer on that is every 20 hours after your first use. So I could be wrong about that, but I do believe that's what I read on Reddit. So yeah, if you're wondering about that, that's what it is. Also, another way to get gold bullion is also from getting them from the season, which you can find right here. You get 50 right here. You get 50 right here. You get 100 right here. You get 250 right there. You get 250 right there. Obviously, it's not a lot, but it adds up. Also, another way to get treasure notes is by coming over here to the Wayward, which is the first place you go to in the Wastelander DLC. Come up the stairs here, and you see this guy named Smiley, and you want to talk to him. And I think I already got my daily or my gold for the week. But you can spend 6,000 taps a week to get 300 gold, which is a good deal, because taps aren't really free flowing in the game. So, and you can only hold 30,000. So I already got my weekly supply of gold from Smiley. So you can get them every Monday, or whatever. I believe that's what the time they were set or is. Alright, so now I showed you how to get script, and I showed you how to get gold bullion after you completed the Wastelanders DLC. And once you buy the plans from Reds that you want them down here, and you want to be able to craft the Secret Service armor pieces that you want. And I'm just at the purveyor, just because, but you can do this at any armor workbench in the game, whether it be at your camp or at somebody else's camp or whatever. And you come down here to Secret Service, and as you see, not for the helmet, but for any piece, you're going to need other materials, obviously, but the big one is legendary modules, and you just want to be able to craft them at the armor workbench. And I'm going to quickly put on my Super Duper perk because Super Duper is great, and I didn't have a chance to get an extra piece, to my knowledge anyway. I'm a full unyielding build, so I do need unyielding pieces, but obviously my right arm and my right leg are places that I would rather have, a better pieces for. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to craft. I would say I'll probably do 10 of each. So if I come over here and I just do 1, 2, 3. So we crafted 10 pieces of Secret Service armor right there. And I didn't get any unyielding pieces. That's unfortunate. We got a lot of pieces that I'm probably not going to use. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Cause that's the whole process, right? Is that it's completely randomized. And you really have to grind for what you want. So I'm going to do another 10 pieces. This one on my right arm. I got a right arm piece. Rad resistance is always nice. I mean, is this better than my right arm piece that I have now? Maybe? I don't know. It's not. I don't know. It's eh. Okay, so I am going to show you a little trick here that Angry Turtle showed me. So, actually I need to put armor on first before I do this because it won't work without it. Yeah, it's an intelligence. I'm an idiot. Okay, so I want to do this, put armor on, and go to modify. And the reason I chose, well, not really chose, but the reason I bought the ultralight build mod for my armor is because right now, if you go to like just a standard piece, the piece weighs 3 pounds. But if you put the ultralight on there, it'll go down to 0.6. So what I do is if I don't have enough gold bullion for the day, or enough script for the day to be able to strip all my pieces, I put ultralight mod on it, and then that way I'm able to fit whatever pieces I don't strip in my stash spots, and it won't take up a lot of space. Also, when you're doing this, make sure you have enough materials. But if you don't have the materials in, you probably shouldn't be doing this. But I do know screws are a pretty rare component in the game, or at least they are for me. I don't come by a lot of screws, But I don't usually do a lot of things that require a lot of screws. Not right now, anyway. So I'm able to do this, but it cost 6 screws. Let me do this. This is weightless anyway, so I wouldn't do it for this piece. But it costs 6 torque, 5 rubber, 8 aluminum, 8 fiberglass, and 6 screws. So if you are able to, put this mod on, then do it. But if not, then I wouldn't worry about it. And I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to do it for this one too, because it's an unyielding piece. And I'm probably going to put a paint on it because I'm going to keep it just in case. So anything I plan on keeping, I usually put a paint on it, and I store it in my stash box. So as you just saw right there, I scripted all of my legendary pieces that I just made, and I did get my 300 strip for the day. So in about 20 hours I can strip more armor, as well as weapons that I don't use or I won't be using. So I'm gonna throw that weightless piece in the stash box. I'm gonna take your 5 pre-war money purveyor, sorry. Alright, so now I showed you how to craft pieces of armor, and now I'm going to show you, first off, I'm going to show you the Under Armour, Secret Service Under Armour, because just like the armor itself, the Under Armour is also really, really good. Probably one of the best Under Armour in the game. And you probably don't want to buy it like as much as the armor, but eventually, I recommend you buying the Under Armour. You don't have to, but eventually at some point I recommend the Secret Service Under Armour. And you can buy it from Raids as well, for 250 gold. Now the Under Armour, when you craft it, is nothing crazy, right? It's just an extra piece to go underneath your armor itself. So it doesn't really have any resistances or anything. But to add resistances and whatnot, you mod it with these things, as you see on the right side there. You mod them with things called lining. Now to get these linings, you also want to buy the lining plans from Reds. And when you unlock plans, you go into your notice tab in your Pip-Boy, and you scroll down to the P, and you want to find the plan wherever it is. So it would be in here. So once you buy it from him, but I already know it, so it won't pop up for me. So you come over here and you find it, and here's the shielded lining. Actually, no, first of all, I need to tell you the 3 linings that you can get for the Under Armour, and you should only buy 1. You shouldn't buy any of the others, but you should only buy 1. And I'm gonna tell you which ones you shouldn't buy and which ones you should buy to cut out the BS or whatever. There's a protective lining for 100 gold that you don't want to buy. There is resistance that you don't want to buy, and that's also 100 gold. The one you want to buy is shielded lining, and that's 200 gold. They all improve the resistances of the Secret Service Under Armour, but shielded is the one you want to buy. You don't have to buy the other ones in order to buy this one. Just buy the best one. This is the one you want to buy. Trust me, it's worth it. You're just wasting your gold bullion if you buy the other ones. So now that we got the Under Armour out of the way, I'm going to be talking about the armor itself. Now, the armor itself, when you craft it as a base, the limbs are going to have 40 damage resistance, 40 energy resistance, and 40 radiation resistance. And for the chest piece, the base stats are going to be 90 damage resistance, 60 energy resistance, and 60 radiation resistance. Now, to upgrade these resistances, you can buy what they call materials from Reds that you also buy from Reds. Reds is my guy, we go way back. But in order to buy materials, you come over here to Reds, and just like the Under Armour, there is 4 materials that you can get, and 3 out of those 4 you shouldn't buy. There's only one that you should buy. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. There is welded, which is I didn't put how much it was, but there is welded that you don't want to buy, and then there is tempered that you don't want to buy, and then there is a hardened one you don't want to buy. And I don't want to scroll down here because that just wasted everybody's time to try to find it, because you don't want to buy it. So I just don't want to waste my time down here. Oh, I found protective lining and resistant lining for this t-shirt service Under Armour. But yeah, you don't want to buy those. So just stick with the shielded for the Under Armour, and for the armor, for the materials, you want to buy what is called buttressed or butt rest. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sure it's wrong, but I know the buttressed armor is right here to the top of the thing here, because I know the plan. So for the arms, legs, and the torso piece, it's 500 each. So yeah, that is the one you want to buy for the materials for your armor. Next up, we have what is called mods for your armor, and each arms and legs and chest piece, they all have different mods that go for them or go on them. So I'm going to find them to the best of my ability. So first up, we have aerodynamic, and that makes your power attached during less AP. So for instance, if you're a melee build, that would be good for you. Next up, we have braced, which reduces additional melee damage while blocking. Next up, we have brawling, which is improved unarmed damage, which is like if you're fighting with your fists and stuff, that would be good for you. Next up, we have stabilized. If you're like a sniper or whatever, that would be good for you. So your scope damage is more steady. Next up, we have weighted, which is unarmed and melee attacks to ignore some of your target's armor. A lot of these, actually all these mods that I just read off, they do not work with my build. Like, I have no use for them, so I just went ahead and bought the deep pocketed, which increases your carry weight for your character. So I went up here and right here, deep pocketed armor limbs. So I went up here and I bought this instead of buying all of them, because none of them, I'm not a melee build. So I went up here and I just went with the deep pocketed to increase my carry weight. Now for the legs, I do have some of these, and I do like them. I swap in and out of different mods like all the time. So if you also on these limb mods, if you want to double up on the benefits and put them on both of your arms and both your legs, you can do that. So let's say for instance, the first leg mod that you can get is cushioned, and it reduces your falling damage by 40%. So if you want to double up, you would take 80% less fall damage. But I don't really fall from like great distances, so I only have one on my leg right now, I do believe. Next up, we have custom fitted, which makes your sprinting take less AP, which is cool. I mean, it's not like the greatest thing in the world, but it just means you can run forever. I guess that's cool if you want to do that. Next up, we have sleek, which is increases your movement speed while sneaking. So that is also great if you're a sneak build. But I run with the fixer, so the fixer already has that as an effect for carrying that thing around. So I don't really generally use sleek all that much, but it is a good thing to have if you're a sneak build. Now for the chest, we have asbestos lining, which reduces energy damage, and it makes you immune to be set on fire. I found this lining or this mod to be really good for my chest piece when I'm fighting Earl Williams, but I really don't use it. But unless I'm fighting Earl Williams, but if I'm doing something else, I don't really use it. But I always do have it on me. at all times, just in case, like, you know, somebody drops a nuke on my non-mine and I feel like I need, or I feel like I want to do the Earl Williams fight. You know, it's always with me. So I don't have to worry about going back to my camp or whatever and getting it. Next up we have Bioton Mesh, which increases the duration of TEMS by 50%. This is basically the Chem Fiend perk, but I do believe Chem Fiend, I think it increases it by 100% when it's maxed out. I could be wrong about that, but I know Chem Fiend increases the duration of TEMS as well. Next up is a Deep Pocket, which increases your carrying capacity by 10. Next up we have the Dense mod, which greatly reduces damage from explosions. This is basically fireproof, maxed out, so if you don't want to use fireproof, you can use this in its place. Next up we have Lead Line, which reduces radiation damage. Next up we have Pneumatic, which reduces magnitude of incoming staggers. But I mean, I never really see a problem with staggers because it only lasts for like a little bit and then you're right back in action. Next up we have the Ultralight build, which greatly reduces the weight and increased AP bonus. So this is essentially what I used to make my Secret Service armor weigh less. When I showed you about the Rusty Pick at the Purveyor. So the only reason I bought this is because when I craft in giant like bolts of armor, I used it to reduce the weight of my armor, so I'm able to store it in my stash box, because as you know, as of right now, as I'm making this video, the stash box can only hold up to 1,200 pounds. So that's just an easier way to counteract the limit. And last up we have everybody's favorite, and I know it's easily my favorite, the jetpack for the torso. I don't know about you guys, but this thing is so fun. You don't even have to be in power armor to use it. That's the best thing about it. The only downside is that it is probably the most expensive thing on this list. I could be wrong about that. I do think the T60 power armor plans are more expensive. Oh, the jetpack for the T65. Sorry, I meant T65. I meant not T60. Yeah, the jetpack for the Secret Service armor is the most expensive thing. That and the jetpack for the T65 are the most expensive things that you can buy from Reds right now. They might add something that's you know, a lot more costly. Also, I figured I would mention to you guys. Do not buy these plans. Do not buy padded, because dense is a better version of padded. Do not buy pocketed, because I do believe pocketed is only 5, so deep pocketed would be better. And then do not get lighter build, because ultralight build is even lighter than lighter build, obviously. So you're just wasting your gold by buying them. I also would like to say that this armor cannot be traded or sold or dropped. You stole my chair. I was gonna sit there for the outro. Whatever, I'll just sit on this bench. Oh, now you want to get up. Over here, I'm gonna take your spot. Snooze, you lose, bud. Snooze, you lose. But yeah, guys, that does it for the video. Hopefully you guys found this video informational. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about how to craft anything or where you did anything. And hopefully, you know, hopefully it helps you out there in the wasteland. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.